I believe if you have been following us, you saw us in District 7 and you saw us in District 14. I think if that is not a signal, then we need to get some acid water to wash your eyes. We are structuring this program in a way that all 17 districts will have their full involvement so that the beginning of this engagement can lead to the liberation of our people. And allow me to sidetrack a bit, just to share a little story that someone told me in a conversation. They said, we are sorry. We did not vote because we did not believe in His Excellency George Tweah. But we voted them because we feared crisis. We saw 14 years of crisis and we know what we went through. And the only tune that we heard them speak in was the tune of war. And because we did not want our peace to be tampered with, we thought it was best to give them the opportunity and allow our leader who we believe in to wait while they self-destruct. And I think they were right. Because we felt criminals are new. If you will be taking a venerated leader, one in whom the masses believe, one who has served this nation with distinction, one who has inspired a lot of young comrades, if you'll be taking him to court, don't be taking him to court for a reason that you yourself are already guilty of in less than 9 months. But notwithstanding, we have come to call on the chairperson of the committee. We'll be taking a debate in the soonest possible time. Without much ado, the chairperson of this committee is a tested and proven cadre. If we ever thought that people like Rose courageous and the less struggles, come and see one of our struggle icons, and comrade, leader, ideologue, Polita CCWA. Comrade chairperson, my right hand salute. The people, our people, your chairperson. Amanda!
Wetu!
Amanda!
Wetu!
Segwe, CDC,
Segwe!
Long live, long live, long live the fighting on dying spirit of the masses party. Long live!
Long live!
Today we are so happy to be here. We want to honor God first and we want to say thank you. On that note, we ask His presence to continue to be with us. We also want to appreciate and thank the hard-working Secretary General of our party. This is not a program. We are just having a little chit-chat. But we want to appreciate this young man. There are times that a lot of our people that we gave power to, we expected them to be here to stand for the party that gave them power today. But most of them, we don't even see them. When we call them, we don't hear them. Some of them are outside doing God and who knows what they're doing. But again, we just want to salute you and say, be strong. We are with you and we support you. Man will sanction you, but God will not sanction you. So keep on and keep fighting for the rights of this party and for the people of this party. We are behind you. We want to appreciate all of our executives in your leadership, our chairman. We also want to say thank you to the Women's League, the Youth League, the disabled community or physically challenged, the pastoral network, and all of the various leagues within our party. Much respect also to the county's chairperson, especially Assembly, Monserrado County. You know, we want to take this time to welcome back home our former finance minister. You know, justice. When you want to be into justice, you must do everything possible to be on the right side of history. You can't be judging people based on a political affiliation. You can't be judging people because they are out of power, so you just want to judge them anyhow. So we want to take this time to say thank you for coming. For some of us, we don't have the political strength or the political talks, but we believe in reality. We believe in history. We want to take this time also to thank all of our technical team members that are on this committee. To the youth, to the women, to the district leadership, the coordinators, the zonal heads, to our partisans, those that stood under the sun and in the rain and fought for us. The other day, we were watching news. We saw police people all around here sending tear gas all over the place. Is that your job? You have a job to do. Go into the communities and fight crimes. That's what you have been elected to do as a government. We say we will celebrate President Tweah because of numerous reasons. Some of us, he empowered some of us. We worked on his leadership as President of the Republic of Liberia. Some of us, the policies that he put in place for government. Example, the free tuition at the University of Liberia. That helped so many women and children who could not afford to go to school. We're talking about the old man there on the field that's selling billboard and pepper and kettling. We're talking about how do they survive. You think we're talking about you can't rescue and then give us other excuses? We're talking about issues here affecting our people. So someone asked, what is this program all about? We say it will be about so many activities. We want to celebrate His Excellency George Tweah. We want to celebrate him because he has done so much for this country. Normally talk about the Bible in the Bible. There was this lady that said she had a baby, right? And then King Solomon, right? And then the other lady said she owned a baby died, but she took this baby and said I was her baby. But you who know you love your child, and that's a test of time. Solomon said, let's put the baby into her.
Wisdom.
If you say the baby for you, then take the other side. The other one take the other side. The woman who Lord, she gave birth to 9 months baby, you can't want to your own baby when you born. The other one said, yeah, let's pay the baby. But the other lady said, no, let's save this child. Let's give it to her, and she said that her child. That's the case of Liberia. We went to an election. And we know what happened all in those counties. We know what happened. But at the end of the day, when you go to fight, they will say, oh, you are the sitting government. So we let go of it because of peace. And because of peace, that's why we are here. Make no mistake. Don't think because of peace, we will sit here. We will not. President Tweah came to power. He did not dismiss people because of the political affiliation.
No way.
He did not dismiss people because you disagree with him. There were numerous people who insulted President Tweah day and night. And those very people, we fought for them to shake hands with him. So today we can have peace in our country. Leadership is not about power. It's not about strength. It's not about connection. It's not about money. It is about service. And that is what President Tweah comes with. And we will respect him. We will celebrate him as our peace icon. We will celebrate him as our political leader. We will celebrate the massive party of the Democratic King. So today, there will be series of activities that we'll be doing. Sporting activities in the various districts. the 17th district of Montserrat County. We are also working with the 15 counties chairperson on this day. We'll be doing quizzing, competition, we'll be doing sports activities. We'll also be doing humanitarian outreach because we believe times are hard. Most of our people can't even afford to send their children to school. So we will be doing humanitarian outreaches as well, buying copybooks, book bags, pencils, pens, giving to our children and to their families. We'll also be giving rights to our elderly and the physically challenged people. We will also be appreciating the various league of our party. You know, success has many owners. When you win, you see plenty of people coming from nowhere. Some people didn't even know how you started A or how you ended A. But there is a lesson for us. CDCIANS. CDCIANS.
Yes.
CDCIANS.
Yes.
This is a lesson for us.
Sure.
These elections was an election that taught us lesson.
Yes.
If we sit down next time and allow people to take election for us out of no reason, then my brother and sister shall be no need for us to be here. But I want us to stand strong. I want us to love each other in this party. I want us to pray for one another. I want us to keep the peace of this country. Because trust me, when we go fight, there will be no peace. And when there's no peace, you and our children can go to school. So we pray for peace in our country. So the former finance minister was thinking about coming here. We were in our different meetings celebrating and he worked on us. Thank you for coming. You know, when we heard that you were in town, we're happy that when people say you did this, you did that, most people, sometimes the media can be very fake. And sometimes they can be very good. But the fact that you came back home, for us to go through whatever it is, for you to defend yourself, we respect you for that. And so, some people say, wow, we're celebrating. We're celebrating. You get issue with it, but we will celebrate him. We will celebrate the masses. We appreciate the masses because we know with God on our side, we will overall prevail. God bless you. Long live the fighting spirit of the masses party. Long live. Long live. Thank you.
That was the voice of one of our funniest revolutionary female icons. Next, we will be calling to this podium a mind argument, the most popular, recognized political ideologist in his age set the foundation of this nation has attained the political height that no man born of a woman in this nation has attained at that age. Because he is feared by even those who purport to be progressive revolutionaries new to this nation. All they found pleasure in is to sit in corners and concoct false allegations because they know they cannot confront him. To confront him, will be of great consequences on their side. They think they will use other connections to distract him and bring him down. Unfortunately for them, his courage is from far. The more you think you are bringing him down, the more inspired he becomes to lead his people. I'm calling to this person someone you already know. Someone who needs no introduction. Like every struggle is built around certain individuals, he is one of those who the struggle of our generation is built around. If you think this generation has great leaders, know that these leaders were inspired by one of their equal. And one of the things that happen anytime we take the opportunity to introduce him after the program, we get called. People who think that they find themselves in an academic class can be calling us, why are you reading praises on someone who we think doesn't deserve it? My response always is, if you think I'm in the class with you and you trust your intelligence, then you must trust my intelligence. And if my intelligence tells me that this person deserves this, who are you to question it? Let me not bore you. Our leader, Kaje, Jefferson, Tamako. Viva! Viva! Thank you. As we said here, we gradually get disrupted by the saint. We do not want to interpose no objection. We want to be very much respectful so that Sonny can do justice to applicants. With that, let me say to you, Bati o Bati. Bati. Bati o Bati. Bati. Bati o Bati. 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 Thank you. A lot has occurred in a short span of time. I got zero intention neither to add or subtract. I
in recognizing our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for what He continues to do in our lives. Even when we make our human mistakes, He has been so magnanimous, gracious on our errors. With that being said, we are grateful to God. We realized a lot is happening, and we see the return of some of our familiars, Tweah, fire burned compatriots of the Populous People Movement. What we say to you, we are grateful to God. With that being said, one of the distinguished stewardship of comrade compatriot, Adiola and comrade Politia CCW, she need no introduction. Her records are proven. When she handled the microphone, you said, we know what happened a few years ago here. But our story is about to be told and rewritten. We wait for God's appointed time. Comrade Compatriot Polita Sismie, this name is deeply rooted in the history and consciousness of our movement and our people. And when we carefully, somebody told me, say, Comrade SG, did I hear you say Polita Sismie is a venerated and proven cadre who have engaged and organized a series of materials of our party? I said, absolutely right. She happens to be an alumni. She organized the most successful George Weah scholarship launch in this country when he was then senator. When he was called to duty by the former then President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to serve as peace ambassador, the first peace caravan that were organized in this country, she was the brainchild of that event. History can prove you right. We have some of the funniest cream that are cream about people in our cycle. Like she said, it's about time we do some in-world soul searching. Let us begin to lay hands on our own. I'm not saying that we are savage. We must prioritize our priorities these times. When you're in a community and your children can find food to eat, even though you want good meal, but I think it's fair enough to cater to your kids before jumping outside. This time around, we have learned our lessons so well. There will be time in your life, only those that know you and those who have benefited from you. They will be prepared to walk with you. They will be prepared to stand with you. They will share your burden with you. We must begin to search for those kind of people among ourselves. And that's why when you say why we celebrate George Weah, we owe you no explanation. You are victim of generational hatred. And you will deal with your issues, you and your lives. We have made a solemn decision, a determination, and a choice that we're very proud of. When you rejected him of becoming leader of this country, we saw in him the capacity to impact the livelihood of our people. Today, he's no longer, but his policy lives on. And our people today are very proud of that. As long as we live,
Philosopher
we
King.
will continue to acknowledge and appreciate this man who is not only an icon to our country, but he's a global icon to the world at large. The man continues to perform unusual impact in this world. When the compatriot, comrade, Polita CCWA became biblical, apparently we thought we were joking. That was the scenario of Liberia. Either you stand because people said, if you don't give them power, they will destroy this country. And this man took a decision that was not popular, even against his own people. Many of you here keep your crying and questioning him. But today, you can reason it was better to save Liberia and to secure tomorrow rather than destroy Liberia and to have no tomorrow. CDC are God chosen people. And that's why we were sent here. Their own interrupted promise are not disrupted. Must have a return. And we'll work towards that. I want to say thank you to the committee for this beautiful setup. This collective was a very hand salute on behalf of the chairperson, Janga Augustus Court, and all of our National Executive Committee members. I've come to say to you, we have our unshaking confidence in your ability to deliver, Comrade Polita CCWA, along with your people. Once a reverend salute to all of the coordinators, our women leaders, youth leaders, and our students here, district youth leaders. Once a reverend salute to District 14 yesterday, Comrade compatriot Mata P. Here, can you stand at the top for you? Maya Peter, Pata in the name of Maya Peter. He was the man beyond the magic yesterday. He was the man beyond the magic, along with his women lead chairperson. What Beatrice? Is Beatrice here? Beatrice is making a way. We salute your dedication. It is that dedication that got us in this struggle. We ask ourselves not to betray that. You have been so dedicated, selflessly dedicated to the populous people struggle. We want to say this revolution will remain unabated. It shall reach its final destination. It will have some interruption, but it cannot be prevented. It's on its path. We will absorb the contradiction and will transform it into a great return. Today, I'm about to exit and usher in a fatherly people. And sometimes people say, why are you celebrating him? You don't know him. They say, you believe in D12. No, I know D12. I just not believe in D12. There's a difference between believe and knowing. You can believe in something while knowing him. But I know there's man seated there. And because I know him, I fearlessly run to his defense. I owe no apologies for whatsoever thing we associate with him. I know him, you know him. And that's why we are here. Be forewarned. You please have spoken. Will this be my pleasing duty? It is the moment of the youth league. Let me not interrupt and disrupt. I used my opportunity to call teacher on the podium. You can come and have that.
Let's go.
Thank you.
So, the Chief Commissar, the Secretary General of our movement, it is a privilege and I right. And as such, permit me graduates of our movement. Standing ovation, please.
Get out.
As I bring to the Roxion, King, an intellectual par excellence, the man with an extemporaneous revolutionary didactics and calisthenics. Reminds me about great leaders. Reminds me about Singaporean economists, Lee Kuan Yew. Congress, put your hands together. Keep putting your hands together. Bring to this motion. Veteran leader, intellectual, Samuel Tweah Jr.
Viva Tweah, viva! Viva! Down, we just accepted down! Down, we're hunting down! Tweah, yo! Where to? Manda!
That's the former finance minister, Senator Tweah, here at the headquarters of CDCIANS. Trump team battleground.
Which hunting? Let me say thanks to the Almighty God. First thanks belongs to our Almighty God for bringing me back to my country, and today for bringing me back to the premises of my revolutionary home. Next to thanking God, let me thank you, the revolutionary stalwarts. You have sustained this revolution that we began since 2004 to 2005. As a founding ideologue of the Congress of Democratic Kings, I was in the trenches at the formative stages of this movement. From the conception of the idea of a popular people's movement, heralded by a generational icon, George Manuel Tweah, to the crucibles of electoral losses over the last 15 years, to the ascendancy of this movement to political power, to the propagandist dethronement of this movement, and to the re-emergence of this movement in 2029, Tweah will be a revolutionary symbol. You the revolutionary stalwarts, you the men and women who have slept on these campuses, on these premises, all over throughout the country, who have dedicated your lives, we owe you a revolutionary humongous salute. Let me say for you, and this is only the beginning of the CDC. The end of the CDC cannot be imagined. It's only the beginning. So, I will use today, I have the opportunity to appear on Today I will confirm my remarks to inspiring us, citizens, to beckoning us toward the height of unity within the party, to thanking all of you who have withstood the test of time, members of the National Executive Committee of this party over the last 6 years, members of the National Revolutionary Youth League of the party, current, past, and current leadership, the illustrious Secretary General Revolutionary Jefferson Damakoji, who has been under our tutelage for more than 2 decades. National Chairman General Controller and the Captain General of the Republic of Liberia, members, all of you, and thank you. To the Women League, the maintenance board, where's the maintenance crew? The boys who maintain these premises, all of you, we salute you. We are politically relevant because of you. Enormous debt of gratitude. We are feared because of you. And fear is a word not them. CDC is fear. In the political arena of the Republic of Liberia. We lost an election. We're not going to the reasons why. We know why. But it's the thinnest of electoral margin ever in the history of election. Less than 1 SKD. The capacity of SKD is 20,000. 70,000 people. Less than the full capacity. Separate us from power today. Separate the unity party. So no party in this country has legitimate mandate overriding to witch hunt a powerful movement like the CDC. No way. You do so at your own peril. That's not reserved for tomorrow, so here. On tomorrow, we will show the Liberian people that the 6 years of the CDC administration were productive, constructive 6 years of improved governance. We don't need to show them because you already know it now in George Weah took this country after Unmail's departure. The free flows that were happening here were not happening after 2018. More than 200 million to 250 million was freely flowing in this country to support our macro economy. The Unity Party government of that time depended on that. NGOs were all over the country giving jobs because of our crisis situation, not because of any particular innovation or productivity of the Unity Party. All of that ended with the ascendancy of George Weah and with the decline of international aid. Because economic conditions became tough in the first year and a half, the propaganda seized on the reader, and because George Weah was the first social media president, the first president who was subjected to the whims, the caprices, and the vagaries of social media in the history of Liberia, people took advantage, and because of the gullibility and the fact that many of our people are not sophisticated, they used a combination of propaganda to barrage the Liberian people that it is George Weah who is causing hardship in the country, who caused the NGOs to leave this country, who caused investments not to come, investors to leave. You put CDC in power, you made a mistake. This is what has haunted us up to this day. And so there is that same minority of Liberians, maybe 30,000, maybe 50,000. Some of them in Bond County they lost their NGO jobs. Some of them lost their jobs in 2016. They have now been able to find work. These people say, listen, I had work when Unity Party was in power. All that explanation you gave me about unmade, I don't believe it. I want to see when they come out of power whether I will have my work. If I don't have my work, then maybe you are right. God said, listen, George, we have stepped down. Let these people be the second section.
Good job.
After unmail, all the development you have done in record time, all the macroeconomic you have stabilized, there are still people who believe that something could be better if you were not in power and that you are responsible for their hardship. I want you to step down. They will take the second 6 years. And the Liberian people will look at the first 6 years and the second 6 years and say, we wrongfully disappointingly rejected CDC for nothing. Because everything CDC did in the 6 years was honesty. The government, the president told us the truth. The Unity Party campaigned with rhetoric and lied to us. And now in 9 months they are not able to deliver on the lies. The veteran Isaac Doe always says on Spoon, you can lie your way to power, but you cannot lie your way to government. So on Monday, we'll tell the Liberian people and the international community about the statistics in 9 months of the CDC administration. At this time, the community was at this time, we're preparing to launch our development plan. They are still looking for consultants to write their development plan. You can see clearly. Let me tell you, you do not have the capacity to deliver in this country.
No way.
Because you see, we are the masters of the post-unmail economy. We understand, CDC, technocrats, understand what it takes to take a country without unmail, to use domestic revenue, to raise domestic revenue by 30% of GDP, by more than $150 million, when domestic revenue was so low. We are the government. We were the ones who understand all of that. When the Liberian people move us from power, you are bringing in technocrats who do not understand how to look for their own money. Technocrats who depend on international flows. It will take them 3 years to understand what we already understand. People made a mistake. Because to distract from all of this, they go into a witch hunting. To see the arrest, illegal and illegitimate arrest of government officials. Let me tell you, if I do wrong, I want to be arrested legally. I want to be arrested legitimately. justice if I do wrong. I love my country. I will not flee justice. No. That is if I do wrong. But what they're trying to do is to know that I haven't done wrong. What they're interested in is not my prosecution. What they're interested in is an imagery, an optical imagery of Samuel Tweah in handcuffs to present to their base and say, we told you we were going for corruption. We got this man who you have been targeting from the fake 25 million, from the fake 16 billion, from all kinds of lies on him. We finally got him in handcuffs. Even though we're not able to win a case against him, at least you can run on social media with a handcuff, and that is our victory. So I hear people say they went to arrest, they should have arrested me. Let me tell you, the moment I arrived on RIA, I was prepared to present myself to handcuff because that would have been an illegal, illegitimate arrest. What I'm afraid of, I told you, it's not legal arrest. It's illegal arrest. If I show to the Liberian people that I'm only being arrested for optical reasons, the Liberian people would believe that my whole case is a politically witch hunting case. But if I'm arrested legally, I don't have an argument against the Liberian people. When I come to justice and you arrest me, you are wrong. When I flee justice, you arrest me, you are wrong. How can I come into my country on my way to the justice, on my way to court, and you think you're trying to put police people to just show picture and you can arrest me? Is that what the fight against corruption is going to be about now? Are those the optical shenanigans that we're going to play with the Liberian people?
You have the different to defeat us. You have the different to defeat us. You have the different to defeat us. You are wasting your time.
Tomorrow? It's 9 months. The honeymoon period in any new government is over by 5 months, 6 months. Any new government that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because Georgia was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. People reduced salaries. What has been the tangible, visible sign of productivity of a government in 9 months? MOUs, 3 billion from China. I signed a 2.5 billion swap deal from China. So you walk in my playbook. And then we are signed 2.5 billion. That doesn't mean that the money came. Let's stop deceiving the Liberian people. Let's stop using misinformation and propaganda and optical shenanigans to impress the Liberian people. And I will speak directly to the Liberian people tomorrow. Let the Liberian people stop listening to lies. Let me tell you, this is a Christian country. Every Sunday, all the churches are back. Every Monday, people go for revival. Every Tuesday, people go for, what the other one? Bible study. Wednesday, they go for a wash night. Thursday, fast and prayer. Friday, Saturday, they go freshman with the church. Sunday, they go by the church. So every day in this country, people are in church. When pastors are preaching that it's wrong to lie. When pastors are admonishing congregants about honesty. So what kind of society we in where the people who go to the polls will take lie and misinformation and act on it when their pastors and their imams in mosques are telling them lie is wrong. We can't base our politics on lie.
No way.
Lies destroy our lives in this last government. Lies destroy the CDC. And so it is very good that we lost the election. But let me tell you, it's a teachable moment for the Liberian people. This loss of election that we had, it was better that we lost it so that Liberians can see what was coming. Because let me tell you, if we won this election, there were Liberians who were still never ever going to be convinced that we were not the ones that that we were the ones who were causing the problem after O'Neill left. Now they are convinced because no Liberian who lost an NGO job is going to get it. He has gotten it. No Liberian salary that was lied to, say they will raise your salary, they will reverse harmonization, whatever that thing means, which doesn't make sense. I will explain it on Monday. No salary has gone up. In fact, let me tell you, the president put right here at the CDCIANS office, we signed an agreement with the health workers before we left office. We announced it, and the president launched it, and he spoke about it. We put about $8 million in the budget to raise the salary of health workers. That money was taken out. If George Weah were president today, the salary of health workers would have been up by about $8 million. Now listen to that. The salary is not up yet. Again, they are preparing protests and protest. Yeah? We say these things to you people.
Not listen.
You did not listen.
Viva, viva, the records are there. Viva! Viva!
So those of you
GB strength of Nathaniel Fallow Maggie just arrived here at the CDC party headquarters while Honorable Senator Tweah is in speech.
welcome the arrival of the veteran political genius Nathaniel Fallow Maggie. We didn't tell the CDC. No. They will let CDC the victory. They will scare the political landscape for organizational capacities and skills. So, we're saying this to you citizens here so that you begin to understand the forces that are arrayed against you as a party. The people use propaganda for you to be against your own leaders. They told you when we're running the country, we're making the country hard. The economic genius that we perform in this country, President Weah, Mr. McGill, me, all the government officials from all over in the cabinet, the things that we did here, the miracle we performed, these people cannot come near it.
No way! No way!
They can't come. The structural problems of this country that we started to deal with, they can't deal with it. In 9 months, the things we're worried about, our second development plan, President Weah PAPD, was going to be about not roads, not electricity, because we already on the path to solving these things. You know we built the Buchanan Road. Do you see cars on Buchanan Road? You see cars, how many cars you see? You can put a mattress on Buchanan Road, 15 minutes, get on one car, you go and sleep for 15 minutes because there is no traffic. Economists measure traffic flow as a sign of commercial activity and growth. The fact that you spend $100 million to build Buchanan Road, agriculture can take off because of road. It means road was not only the problem. The government, the country need to focus on why Liberians are not getting loans, Liberians are not getting access to finance, so they're able to do things to take advantage of the electricity and the road. That is what our new development plan was going to be about. When you sit down, instead of governing the country, you can run after decent leaders who have sacrificed for their country to make the Liberian people believe that quote unquote they are corrupt. Are you kidding me? When we became minister, the president dictated, you know how we gave John Uboti and the contractors for road repairs in this country? 2.5 to 2 million or 2.5 million. 2 million, they more work than 22 million they have spent for road repairs. So that is a proper argument. 2 million versus 22 million. I want to go for them for me. I'm not afraid of the Liberian people. I'm not afraid of Liberian people. I tell them the truth. I told Liberian people, John Weah was the best president. I told Liberian people were lying on us. Tomorrow I will look in the mic, look in their faces and tell them. And they know now, in their heart of hearts, they know now that they made a mistake. But that's history. We can't change that. We have to forge ahead. In forging ahead,
You have to stop believing lies and propaganda about your own leaders. You have to stop. You can't take propaganda from the opponent and come and internalize it and believe it. Some of that affected us. You now have to sit down as we celebrate President Tweah. You know why you celebrate President Tweah? You know, I couldn't have come at a better time. Maybe that God, you know, my coming was inspired by God and all that. God said you will come at the time when we are about to celebrate the birthday. The time is important. The time is the book of Ecclesiastes says it's a time for everything. So when the people are telling me, say, why you didn't come now? God said that is not the time to go. That's the time for you to return. And when you return, even the lion will not open your mouth. You will be just like Daniel in the lion's den. And so I returned in God's chosen time when the enemy was confounded. But this is to say that as we welcome the senator, as we prepare to celebrate our illustrious President Tweah, the reason you want to celebrate him is now that these people have had 9 years, you have to respect him more now. Because in 9 months, and you see where the country is going. The World Bank latest economic report says what? You were able to reduce poverty. We said that during the election, people didn't believe us. Now they say, oh, the World Bank, you're close to the World Bank, so you bribe the World Bank. I can bribe the World Bank. Now, I don't want to tell the World Bank to run the economy. They use data, they use science, they use analysis. They show that we reduced poverty over the last 3 years. With COVID-19, with Ukraine war, we reduce poverty, we reduce rice price.